Partnerships can sometimes be a very good thing. Equally, voting on proposals to ensure the longevity of a project can be an incredibly powerful tool. Equally, it can be a hurdle that we need to come over. Terra Luna Classic as well had its fair share of proposals recently. More recently, we do have another proposal around the opening of the IBCs and a change to the burn tax. But we're going to talk about community standing strong as well as a number of other things in this video. So make sure that you stick around because this one, it's pretty interesting. So taking a look currently at Terra Luna Classic price, 1587, 2.75%. Now, if you caught my video earlier, BlockFi has, Chapter 11 gone bankrupt, another victim of the FTX scandal, and it's caused a big sell-off in the market. We've seen nearly 3% down in the global market, around that 800 billion mark. So, is it surprising Terra Luna Classic's done the same? Absolutely not. Always remember, though, if you're staking your Terra Luna Classic, you are earning and increasing your bag. You can see the volume, 77 million. Now, we equally anticipate the Binance burn coming very soon. Link to that in the description. Go and check it out, where I think we're going to see on the Binance burn. It's going to be the biggest burn we have yet seen on Terra Luna Classic. 950 million is the market cap, and like I said, volume slightly down. Circulating supply continues to come down. Now, when we look in a bit more technical data, we see this massive sell-off that happened in the early hours as we got that BlockFi announcement, and then, as always with Terra Luna Classic, people bought the dip, and we're just consolidating and trading sideways. Now, if you look here, we have masses of red running down the right-hand side, with only a few projects actually bucking the trend across the rest of the market. Now, ultimately, what are we going to be discussing? Well, there is obviously the new proposals around the new 1.2% burn tax, and I think I made my view very clear on my opinion of it, and equally the reopening of the IBCs. Now, everybody seems to be talking about Luna 2.0 blending and partnering up with Luna Classic, and I'm just not sure that that is actually true. But we do have an interesting article from CoinPage, and it says Terra Luna Classic community witnesses crucial decision making moments as Luna developers re-enable the inter-blockchain communication, which will be massive, by the way. And it says, meanwhile, the community remains divided on whether to increase the burn tax parameters from 0.2% to the 1.2% amid the IBC reopening, and whether Lunk should merge with Luna. Well, straight off the bat, I'm going to give you my opinion. No, I don't think we should put a 1.2% burn on IBC reopening, and no, I don't think we should partner back up with Luna. What we do need to do, though, is work with the Luna blockchain. I totally accept that, and I think for projects building on both, I totally see why that would be a benefit, but there right now is 0 point to merge the two together. It just would not make any sense, given that Luna is now a completely different blockchain, and ultimately our volume is significantly higher. Yes, people are trading on Luna Classic much more than Luna. Our challenge is always to get dApps built on that. It says Terra Rebels core developer Edward Kin proposed 10,950 to re-enable 3 IBCs. We now know that's 4, by the way, which is pretty exciting. That will all go live fairly shortly. It says with the developers reopen IBC channels estimated on December the 5th, Proposal 10960 aims to increase the burn tax to 1.2% with taxing of 0.96 as an on-chain burn fee, allocating 0.24% to the community pool. Now, again, I've shown you my views on that. We don't need to increase the community pool. The community pool is doing absolutely fine as it is. It's continually increasing every day. But what we do need to watch, though, is the Oracle rewards pool. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. It says the proposal aims to take advantage of increased volume from osmosis and make up for the slow burn rate after the 0.2% burn tax implementation. Furthermore, the second part of the proposal suggests splitting the 1.2% burn tax to control burn rate, community pool fee, Oracle rewards fee, and the USTC repeg. Again, going to be absolutely insane. Goes and talk about a few other bits, but ultimately the divide see whether Lunk should merge with Luna to increase utility and bring back the project to the chain. Most assume that Terra Classic community will never merge with Luna, as a Terra Rebels rival roadmap indicates an aim to become independent of Luna and Do Kwon. I don't think it's necessarily to be completely independent. It just feels like that's not the right thing. I think there's still a big cloud that sits over Do Kwon, although we have seen him back in kind of Twitter Spaces, etc. But ultimately, it's not in our interest right now to merge the two together. Yes, we need to bring decentralized applications onto Luna Classic, but there is no point right now to merge with those. Now, taking a look into a couple of these, which I thought was worthwhile bringing, you've got the Binance Hot Wallet. We can move in. We see a real interesting pattern forming as, coins are moved in and out of that Binance Wallet. Again, continuing to sit around that kind of 2.5 trillion coins certainly is a question as to what's going on. But when we look at the couple of other bits I was talking about, so we have the community pool. Again, we can click click into that, you can see it just continually is rising as part of that tax, which allows us to go and build and allows us to fund building on the Lunar chain. So I think it's important that we do continue to see the community pool. You can see there 1.3 billion Lunar Classic, as well as 565,000 USTC, and ultimately again that supports building of that. Now interestingly, the Oracle rewards pool, this is for the validators, and this is important because this is the reason people validate on our blockchain. It maintains the blockchain, it ultimately gives them an incentive to do so, and this is one we just need to be mindful of. Yes, it's in a decline. This is where we need to start increasing volume and decentralized applications. Now bear in mind, this is running from the 14th of May. We were at 375 billion, whereas we are currently at 275, so 100 billion across the space of 6 months, obviously going through that really tough time. So we do need to be mindful of the Oracle pool rewards, because if we lose this, then we ultimately lose the chain. No one will validate us, and the key part of a proof of stake is obviously being validated. Now obviously we have the Binance burn tax coming up very, very soon, so we'll keep an eye exactly what that looks like. But ultimately there is a couple of things still that we just need to be mindful of, the community pool being one, the Oracle rewards pool to ensure our validators are being paid. And bear in mind, we're at 130 validators. That is the maximum number of validators we can have on the chain, which shows you how, you know, keen people are, and ultimately how bullish some of these validators are to ensure that we continue maintaining that. And finally, just before I sign off, we obviously are expecting that big Binance burn coming up. My guess, 8 billion is what my gut feeling. We did have a nice 25 million burn from all nodes, likewise an 8.9 million from Terra Casino.io. So good to see those are there. Ultimately, burns are not the way that we get back to some of those big prices of 1 cent, 10 cents, $1, whatever it's going to be, but they add to the proposals, they add to the support long term of the chain. And ultimately, like I said, it's the proposals that come in, the reopening IBC, but the burn tax, let's just leave it at 0.2% and see where we get. But let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of the burn tax? Do you think we should have a number completely different, or do you think we just need to wait and see what happens? Re-enable IBC. We've got a couple of great projects building on our blockchain, make them a success, and let's see where we get to. As ever, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Turn your notification bell on to stay up to date with everything going on with Terra Lunar Classic. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.